is our second segment of Chat with the Chamber, and I am here with Cathy Driftmier of Driftmier Design. Driftmier Design is located at
107 South Main Street in Verona.
Right downtown. And Cathy, tell me a little bit about how your business came about and what brought you to Verona.
The business came about. Kitchen and bath design is a second career for me, and I wanted to do something creative, and I wanted to do something that I could work with the public, work with people, because I really enjoyed that about my previous career. And at the time I was watching a lot of Trading Spaces, and I got really frustrated when the designers wouldn't listen to the people they were working for on the show. And I never forget one show where the woman came in to do the big reveal of her living room, and she burst out into tears because she hated it so much. And that sort of prompted me to say, there's got to be a better way. I mean, this is people's homes. They should be able to live in it and really enjoy it and like it.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your business, what you do for customers. How do you work?
I specialize in kitchen and bath design. I work with cabinetry design, which also extends to rooms like laundry rooms, home offices, bookcases, fireplace surrounds, wainscoting, anything to do with cabinetry. I also sell countertops, decorative hardware, and I do consultations for selecting materials for new and remodeled home construction.
Now, is there a busy season in the design business?
Yeah, spring, summer is the busy time. As winter sort of goes away and the weather is warming up, people get anxious to make the changes in their home. It's a little bit easier because you're not dealing with the cold and the snow of winter.
And I suppose the tax season, with people getting income tax returns back, gives them the financial incentive to go.
Yes, that's a big plus too. That's definitely, March and April and May are usually our biggest months.
If you're planning a project along those lines, is it to your benefit to plan during the non-busy season, or is there?
Yes, that's a great idea. It gives you a little bit more time to make those selections. Not everybody has an easy time, you know, deciding on selections, even with my help. So the longer lead time you can have for the design, the better.
Okay. Now, based on what your client experience is, if there's one thing you could tell the public about designing bathrooms and kitchens, what would it be? What's the kind of the biggest mistake you encounter, or the biggest misconception?
I would say to always talk to a professional, to get professional advice. There's lots of great ideas in magazines and on TV, but when it comes down to doing it to your home, talk to a professional, someone who can give you kind of an idea of what to expect and some of the numbers that you would encounter for your particular project, some of the budget numbers that you would run into.
So tell me, in your experience, what have been some of the more unusual jobs you've run across, or unusual requests or situations that customers present to you?
Well, I don't really have anything that I consider that unusual. I did work with a couple that had a really great way of approaching their project. Remodeling a kitchen can be rather stressful. Your house is torn apart for 6 weeks. A lot of times the husband and wife don't agree, and it can be difficult. They had a wonderful system. They had agreed ahead of time that they each could say no to anything, no questions asked, and then they would move on. It was such a pleasure. There was no fighting or trying to get my way, and it would really move the project along, and it was really a great pleasure to work with them. I give people that advice. I don't expect them to always take that, but it was really a nice thing. You know, if somebody didn't want anything, the other person could say, no, I'm sorry, I don't like that, and we moved on. So it made it a very pleasant, easygoing project.
So it sounds as if, and I would imagine to do your job, you have to be a pretty clever person when it comes to interpersonal relations and kind of being able to read a customer and what they want.
Absolutely, that's very true. My philosophy is that I'm creating spaces personalized to the people that live there. I want to give them everything, if at all possible, that they want and need, with really good design sense as well, and good, so it functions well and looks beautiful and be a space that they can love being in.
Now, do you have a favorite kind of work that you like to do? Older kitchens, newer kitchens? bathrooms? Is there something you particularly enjoy?
I just like design in general. I love kitchens. Kitchens are my favorite room to design in. I love to cook, so I know how to move in a kitchen. I know what is needed to make a functional space for either one or two cooks. So that's my favorite room in the home. It's kind of the heart of the home. It's where everybody hangs out,
Sure.
and it really does affect a lot of the other areas as well.
Okay. And what are some of the more popular elements for design these days? Is it stainless steel? Are there the islands in the middle of the kitchen?
Islands are a big plus. If you have space for an island, that's a great efficient use of space. People now are looking for very efficient storage and functional layouts, things that they can work in, being able to access their things easily and quickly. Stone products are still very popular for countertops. Contemporary design is becoming more common in this area, more of a European sleek look. Even if it's not traditionally a European contemporary, simple clean lines are now becoming more and more popular versus something very ornate and elaborate.
Okay. Well, tell me, Cathy, if somebody wanted to come and visit your shop and talk to you about your services, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
The best way would be to call us, 608-497-1177. We can talk over the phone, we can make an appointment to meet here in the showroom, or I can schedule a free in-home consultation and we can talk about their project and what they would hope to get out of their home.
Now, if you were to do an in-home consultation with someone, or even have someone come to your office here, how should they prepare? What's the best plan of attack?
Have as much information for me as possible about the two big questions are what don't you like about your current space and what would you want to put in it if you could. If the sky was the limit, what would you want to do? And I take it from there. Another great trick I tell people to do is buy a bunch of magazines for kitchen, bath, whatever area you're looking at. Go through and just mark things you like. You don't even have to know why you like them, because after time you'll be able to see a trend, and that'll help me sort of figure out the kinds of things that those clients are looking for.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Cathy, for coming and being on our first episode.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And
It's a pleasure.
Look forward to talking to you more in the future.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And we're here at Rockweiler Insulation with our third and final interviewee for our first program, Renee Wilson. Welcome to Chatting with the Chamber.
Thanks, it's my pleasure, Carl.
We're glad to have you. And Renee, why don't you start, your business has been in Verona for a long time. I know it was started by your dad. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business, how your dad got into this business and how you continued into the business with him?
Well, he started the business in 1983,